Greetings and salutations, viewers. Welcome to BookExpo America, where I am here with author Charles Connor, who has written Keep a Knockin'. Thank you for joining us for this quick little interview.
It's my pleasure, yeah.
I was hoping you could tell us a little bit about your book.
My book is about, history, about the history of rock and roll. I'm Little Richard, original drummer, and we created rock and roll back there in 1953. And I'm talking about all the experience we had on the road, the Jim Crow, and us dressing like a bunch of gay guys to introduce rock and roll into the white clubs. And we also wanted to, I wanted to mention that Little Richard is the one that brought the gays out of the closet, because Richard, a lot of people didn't come to Richard dance and things like that because they didn't feel comfortable. But when Richard was out there, Richard said, "I'm the king and queen of rock and roll," and he made the guys come out and they felt comfortable and something like that. You know. And the thing about that, when I first I was a starving, broke musician in Nashville, Tennessee, and Little Richard wanted to take me with him because he liked that New Orleans type sound. And so he brought me to the train station. We went to Macon, Georgia, and we followed the train for about 2 or 3 miles. And the train went chip, 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 chip. He said, "Charles, what kind of beat are those?" I said, "That those are 8 notes." He said, "That's the kind of music, that's the kind of beat I want you to play behind me with the when we record and when we do rehearsal." So I told him those was 8 notes, like tat 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 tat, and you know all the Richard tunes, like Jenny tat 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 tat.
Yeah.
Well, good God, let me tat 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 tat. And we wanted to be different. So those days, like I said, for the play in the white honky tonk club down south, we have to act like a bunch of gay guys, pancake makeups, little rouge and all that jazz, eyebrow pencil and all that darkening and mustache, because they wouldn't let us play if we was to look like a bunch of macho guys. So we couldn't look like a bunch of gay guys. So that's where we introduced rock and roll down south into to the white honky tonk club. So we used to wear tight pants. They wanted our penis to show through the tight pants and stuff like that, and smile and be. And he said, regardless, because a lot of people say, "Here come Little Richard with his sisters," and Richard said, "Don't worry about that, because this big." We were like before the civil rights bill passed. This back then, 53 and 54. And the thing about that was, we used to act like that, but introduce rock and roll, to the white club. And then we wanted the kids to get together. We wanted to be equal with everybody. I don't care if you're gay, straight, backward, or forward, and stuff like black or white, because we know music was a great communication. Anybody can feel music, young or old, And so they enjoyed coming out there to see Little Richard play and stuff like that. And we happened to do 3 moves in the 50 or 55 and 60. We did The Girl Can't Help It with Jan Manfield, Don't Knock the Rock, and Mr. Rock and Roll. Those, you can still see those movies on video today. Great movies. I would say that was the beginning of music video.
Yeah.
It was great moves and everything, and we did real good at it.
Cool. What inspired you to put it all in a book?
Believe it or not, I've been writing this book since 1985.
Oh, wow.
I got the old manuscript, and I say, somebody's going to pick up on it. Somebody's going to pick up on it. So I finally got in touch with Bob, and Bob said, "Oh, yeah, it sounds great." I mean, really, the history of rock and roll. Since 85, I started since 85, and I finally got it completed after Bob made this offer and everything, got the contract. But I'm talking about the things we have to go through for to play this music, and the places they didn't want us to play, because we be coming in town and everything. Richard got that long hair on his head, and pancake making. They said, "Here come Little Richard and his sister." Richard said, "Don't worry about that. This thing gonna work." In other words, that was the strategy for you to introduce rock and roll. So I want to let people know that the Jim Crow days, they used to call us sisters, and here come Richard and his sister, and the guys would try to one time a guy pat me on my butt, you know. I said, that's gonna call. I told the other guy, I'm gonna be banging this old lady before the night is over. So all those things would happen, and a lot of people, by being a musician and flashing and stuff like that, a lot of people, women thought that we was gay. You know, because we would talk to the girl and we learned that little hand move. I learned it from Richard's friend. I said, how you do that? And Rich said, oh, you do it like that. You do it like that. And what happened, the girl would be winking at us, we'd be on the bandstand, you know, and the girl would be winking at us and things like that. We say, oh, hi. And we say, oh, honey, I want to see you in the dressing room after at intermission. And when we come back there to the dressing room, we change our voice. Hey, baby, what's up? All that stuff. And we was the first band. That's where the cover was. We was the first band that the women threw their panties at. They threw their panties, you know. That's a sample right there. And they threw their panties at us and everything like that. And it wound up on my drums, on my sock cymbal, on my drum, it wound up on my other drum out there. We were the first one that did that. Not Tom Jones. Tom Jones started that up in, I think, 60 in Las Vegas. We was the first. Little Richard and his upsetter. The reason why they call us the upsetter, we wanted to go upset everything, upset everything, and look so different and everything like that. But we was Little Richard upsetter, you know. And when Richard came out of show business, I played with some of the greatest entertainers that walked the face of the earth. Little Richard, I played with Sam Cooke. When Little Richard came out of show business, Sam Cooke took the band, you know. And then I played with the original Coaster. I played with Jackie Wilson, Jan Brown. I played with Jan Brown. I used to play we was all around Macon, Georgia together. And Jan Brown was booked by the same personal manager as Little Richard. So I would work 5 days with Little Richard in Tennessee, Georgia, Kentucky and stuff like that for 4 or 5 days. And then like on Monday and Tuesday, I would moonlight with Jan Brown. I was the first professional drummer play behind Jan Brown.
Nice.
And so what happened was I was playing, I think, the American Legion Club one Monday night with Jan Brown. And what happened was I'm playing, because I'm from New Orleans, and Jan's like that New Orleans beat too. So on my bass drum, I play a lot of syncopation. You know, do. You ever heard the second line?
Yep.
Do. So we were playing at that American Legion Club, and so what happened was I was playing behind Jan Brown, and I said, "Oh man, now it's time for me to do my thing." But the technique was I was doing it. You know, drummer always sitting in the back, and the musician in the front of it. In those days, we didn't have no drum ride at the little club. So what happened was I would see the girls out there with their boyfriend or something talking to their guy. So I come up with that second line, be but I only did that for the attract the girls. And then when they look at me like that, I say, "Hey, baby, I want to see you backstage." That was my strategy I used, you know, winking and stuff like that. And Jan Brown said, "Charles, that sounds like New Orleans. What the hell are you doing back there?" I said, "Man, I'm playing the funky second line beat." He said, "Sure sounds good to me. Keep on doing it." And that's when Jan Brown said that I was the first one to put the funk into the rhythm.
Nice.
So that was a hell of a experience, yeah. But I played with other musicians too. I played with Clarence Frogman Hendry. I played with Blazer Boy. I played with Shirley and Lee.
Really?
Yeah, Shirley. I don't know if you guys too young to know about Shirley. They, "Come on, baby, let the good time roll."
Yep.
That was a male and female group, and I played with them. I played with the first guy I played with, Professor Longhair, Roy Boyd. You ever heard Professor Longhair?
Yeah.
I played with the first job. I was 16 years old, Mardi Gras Day in New Orleans, and Professor Longhair drummer got drunk too much. He celebrated too early, too much Mardi Gras. So what happened was they said, "Oh, let's get Charlie. He take private lesson, and maybe he can play behind Fest." In those days, if you used to listen to the radio, that's how you learn music. Listen to the radio, listen to the record. So Professor Longhair, they brought me to the club where you were playing at. I was so damn scared, man, because I would play with a professional drum. It's hand like that. I was shaking like that. I was playing rolls on my drums when I wasn't supposed to play rolls. I was shaking. And Fest looked back with that mean look, and so he came with that the song, his favorite hit. I'm going to New Orleans. Well, I'm going to New Orleans. I want to see the Mardi Gras. But I know the song. I listened to the radio, listened to the record and everything, and I got right up there and I started playing. Then they said Professor Longhand smile at you and wink at you, you're in. And about the middle of the song, Professor Longhand, he looked at me and he winked. You mean I was okay? And that's when my confidence built after, you know, that. Because he played some tricky rhythm.
Yeah.
And I had the big hit ever since. So it was a great experience, you know, stuff like that. And then my wife, I was married to Little Richardson. Well, my first wife, I married a woman with 5 kids. Dum. And so I divorced her and I married Little Richardson to Peggy Penniman. I was supposed to marry her when I was about 19 years old. She said, let's get married before my brother gets famous. I said, no, I don't want to marry you because I want to be a good husband. You know, I want to be a good husband. We're not going to, you know, I said, your brother, give me a little chance to breathe and everything. So I didn't marry her, and I went and I married my first wife. She had 5 kids, she had 4 kids for me. And then after I divorced her, but let me tell you a lovely story. In 1957, we were in the Philippines and Manila, and this little girl came up to me and she said, Mister, they speak English, they speak Tagalog and they speak English too, because English is their second language. She said, Mister, should you sign an autograph for me? I said, okay, sweetheart. And on the autograph, what I signed was, she was young, 6, 7 years old. I said, keep rock and roll in your life. I hope you come to America someday. And I'm back in the United States and around 1980, and I see this beautiful little girl. I didn't know if she's Chinese, Japanese, Korean. I know she was Asian. I see this beautiful girl, but this little girl I signed an autograph for, she had got older then, so she was buying rice. And I said, let me try to hold a conversation with this girl. I said, you know about rice? She said, yeah. I said, I know how to cook rice too. I'm all hip and everything. I know how to cook rice. I'm good at cooking rice. And she said, and this is embarrassing. She said, get away from me, you idiot. Man, I felt so bad, man. I was embarrassed and everything. Embarrassed. And I got back. I'm a musician, man. My ego is my ego, man. I felt like disappearing. I said, nobody don't see her call me idiot. So I seen her about 2 weeks later, and she was buying rice and buying stuff. I said, I'm from New Orleans, and I know how to cook rice. I know how to cook rice because we have rice fields in New Orleans too. Yeah. I know about short grain rice. I know about long grain rice. And so we got the conversation. I said, by the way, what is your name? She said, my name is Zenaida. I said, I'm Charles Connor. I put out my business card. I said, where you from? I'm from the Philippines. From the Philippines. And I thought, I kind of recognized the little girl face when she was young. I said, I played the Philippines. I said, I played the Philippines in a long time ago. I said, by the way, I give her my business card. And I said, by the way, I'm Charles Connor, I'm Little Richard, original drummer. She said, you can't be a Little Richard, original drummer. I said, why? Now, I know I'm writing. I don't mess with me. I know I'm writing what I'm talking about. He said, because an old man signed an autograph for me when I was about 6 or 7 years old. I said, I'm the old man. We've been married 33 years.
Congrats.
And that's my daughter, Queenie is my daughter. She's also my personal manager. And Guy was saying, man, you slept with a lot of women in your life. I said, yeah. Those days they didn't have AIDS and nothing like that. So, and you can bring girls to the hotel when you're on tour. And when you're in tour, and anytime you're locally, you can bring it to the hotel. It's so tight now because security and people trying to sue you. I used to sleep with 2 and 3 different women a day. And then when we traveled, when I couldn't sleep with 2, 3, or 10 women a week, I got depressed. I got impressed, man, because I was so used to getting what I want and everything like that. He said, how many women you slept with? I said, about 1,500. I said, about 1,500 between the age of 15 and 45, 47 years. But that's nothing. That's nothing. The guy can do that today, but they got the power to do the same. They make way more money we made. They can do it today, but you can't take chances with the AIDS. They had no AIDS and stuff those days. We were safe. All they had was, I think, gonorrhea and stuff. We never caught none of that stuff. We used to go to the doctor every 6 months on the road, have a doctor come to the hotel. But I lived a very privileged life, man. It was a beautiful, beautiful life, man. You know, when I first started playing drums, I was in the 3rd grade, and my school teacher told me that, Charles, you'll never be a drummer. I used to beat on the desk all the time, try to attract the girl's attention. And she said, you'll never be a drummer. I said, why? Your teacher's always right, educating the authority. Why? And he said, because you ain't up but a class clown. You'll probably wind up working on a garbage truck, because there ain't no such thing as a left-handed drummer. Man, I went home and cried and everything. I cried. My daddy from St. Black Spanish from Dominican Republic. He said, don't you worry about that woman. She might know about teaching, but she know nothing about music. And a lot of times, let's go to show you, a lot of times, those guys, I was real skinny, man, when I was so damn skinny. They couldn't put a belt on me, so my older brother bought me suspenders so I could hold my pants up. I was bent, and I had brown collar, skinny, and you can see my damn rib. I was tall, I had a good looking face and everything, but I was so skinny. I would see these guys out there playing in the street, playing baseball and touch football. I used to get jealous of those guys. I said, well, I can't be big and strong like those guys and everything. Those guys showed up in front of the girls and everything. And my daddy see me looking out the window. I said, Daddy, I wish I was built like those guys, big like those. My daddy told me, because he bought my set of drums when I was 5 years old, he told me that, don't worry, Charles. He said, you keep practicing those drums, and you can have many women that you can shake a stick at. Definitely, you know. And
all of these stories are more or less in the book?
In the book, yeah, in the book.
All right.
But I was born in the French Quarter. I was born at 610 Dauphine Street. In the French Quarter, that's where you hear music and the second line, parades and stuff like that. And what happened was, my daughter was my drummer when I was 5 years old, and I practiced. Make a lot of noise around the house. Beat on my mother red bean pot, my mother gumbo pot, a 5-gallon gumbo pot. And I like the sound and everything. I like the sound of the pot. You know, God given a talent, and everybody have a talent. But the thing about that, you got to develop that talent. You have the talent. Everybody have a talent to do something. My talent was to play drum, but I had to develop that talent. I'll tell you another problem I have, and I can't talk too good now because I've still got that southern accent. I used to study when I talk, and the kids used to laugh at me. I'd be saying, and my mother said that, Charles, we got to do something about that studying and stuff like that. I said, what? He said, I'm going to bring it to a friend of mine, goes to the butcher shop down the street, and it's in the book, and I'm going to let him look at you. I said, well, the butcher man, he knows doctors say no, but they'll try a remedy on you. And they bought me in a butcher shop and everything, and they went back and he had meat hanging up in the back in a deep freeze. And I was scared as hell. I was shaking like that. What the hell he gonna help me with? Yeah. Now, I said, can you help me, mister? Yeah. He said, I can help you. I said, how you gonna help me? And he took a piece of beef and he hit beside my mouth. And he said, what you say, Charles? He hit beside my mouth. And after that, my study improved. And everything, yeah, my study improved. And I stopped studying, but I still got that southern accent.
Try pulling that nowadays, though.
Oh yeah, well, I've still got that, but I do. But that's how I make my voiceover when I do a lot of voiceover with the Southern accent, you know. And I tell you another thing. When I was a little boy, I was about 10 years old. It's in the book. I used to shine shoes in the summertime. We was off from school 3 months a year up in the New Orleans. You shine shoes. So the white guy, those days, you don't have those sauce. You don't know I'm telling you. So if they wipe up, if they rub your head, a little black boy head, they're supposed to be good luck.
Huh.
You never heard of that, huh? I lived through it.
How'd that go over?
Huh?
How did that go over?
Well, I'm going to tell you how it went over. I was shining this guy, big old fat white guy. And he said that, he used to call me Charlie. I said, my name is not Charlie. My name, he said, okay, I'm going to call you boy. I said, I'm not a boy. I said, my mother named me Charles Connor, C-H-A-R-L-E-S. And then he still said, okay, Charles. I said, not Charlie, my name is Charles, C-H-A-R-L-E-S. And he said, okay, boy. Well, okay, he had two-tone shoes on, you know. And shoe shine was 15 cents those days. And I'm piling just two-tone shoes and everything. Brown and white shoes. I said, I'm going to catch this son of a bitch. I'm going to show him what kind of boy I am. And so what happened was I was shining his shoe, and he was up sweet. You're doing a good job, boy, shining my shoes. I said, yes, sir. I'm very polite. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Mr. Jake. And then Big Jake. Yes, sir, Mr. Jake. I'm shining his shoes and everything. So he's sleeping. I said, I'm going to catch him because I only had 2 more days to work. School was going to open a couple of days after that. I took the brown polish on the white polish shoes, and I messed the shoes up. He said, did you do a good job, boy? Yes, sir, I did a good job. And he got up, you know, because in the barbershop, I couldn't sit in the barbershop when people were in there. That's where it was those days down there. I couldn't sit in the barbershop. If you're a black person, I'm shaking, but I only sit in the barbershop when they had no customers. I couldn't even use the restaurant.
Jeez.
Couldn't even use the restaurant. And what happened? So he looked at it. I took the break. Oh, you give me a good shine, boy. Yes, sir. And he said, I know I need to rub my head. I know I'm here. Good luck today. And he looked at his shoes. You black son of a... You look like you have a hard. I said, Mr. Big Jake ain't have no good luck today, rub my head. I ran out the barber shop, you know. So that's the thing we went through those days. And another thing we went through that built my confidence. Before when I was a little boy, I wanted to be a preacher. I wanted to be a preacher, but when I learned about girls, I said, no, preacher for me. I used to stand out on the corner. I used to take, not a Bible, but take a telephone book or a dictionary, and I'm preaching about the babies coming out of a balloon and all that stuff. And he used to throw nickel and dimes at me, you know. But when I found out about girls, I said, I don't think I'm going to be no preacher. I want to be a drummer, you know. But that's the way it was those days. But the last thing, we was in a grocery store. I mean, up in a department store on Canal Street in New Orleans. So they had a fountain for white and a fountain for color, say color on and white on. So my mother went back there to try on a dress. And so she went to try on a dress and everything. And I went to the color fountain and the water was warm. But I went to the white fountain and the water was cold, a hot summer day in New Orleans. I said, what's going on? What's going on? I'm trying to figure what's going on. Because I was a little shit ass. I was an inquisitive little shit ass anyway. And so what happened? I said, when I drink out the hot water fountain, the color water is hot. And then when I drink out the cold, it's cold. I said, well, them people, if you think, they want to think that they're better than colored people. You know, because we drinking warm water and they drink cold water. And my mother came out there and the manager came out there and he said, what you doing? Drinking out there? The white water fountain. I said, well, sir, I just seen her though, and I started drinking. You ain't supposed to drink out of it. And my mother took me by my neck. He said, I bet I never see you drinking out of water, out of white water. Come on. I'm gonna beat your butt when I get home. And my mother, we went out there doing. My mother say, I just said that in front of him. I'm so proud of you, Charles, for drinking out the water. And we laughed, man.
Nice. Unfortunately, we're just about out of time. But
cool.
For our viewers and listeners out there, where can people track down your book?
I track down my book at the website www.legendairedrummer.tv, and the book is Charles Connor, Keep a Knockin', the story of a legendary drummer. And it's a great book. It's history, music, everything. And it's about music. It's about the way we used to dress. We used to wear our hair curl and all that stuff. But it's a history book. It should be in all libraries. It should be in all bookstores. It should be read by parents, young, old, middle class, 89 years old, to let people see how it was those days and the dues we paid for to introduce rock and roll to the United States. It's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful book.
I'm definitely excited to read it.
It's a great book, yeah. And I hope I hear from people. I hope that people will buy it. But it's a wonderful book, man. Wonderful book.
Yeah, we're excited.
Yeah, it's something to be excited about, you know.
Thank you for your time. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you, gentlemen. Think about that, when I first I was a starving, broke musician in Nashville, Tennessee, and Little Richard wanted to take me with him because he liked that New Orleans type sound. And so he brought me to the train station. We went to Macon, Georgia, and we followed the train for about 2 or 3 miles. And the train went chip, 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 chip. He said, Charles, what kind of beat are those? I said, those are 8 notes. He said, that's the kind of music, that's the kind of beat I want you to play behind me with the, when we record and when we do rehearsal. So I told those was 8 notes, like, tat, 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 tat. And you know, all the Richard tunes, like, Jenny, tat, 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 tat,
yeah.
Well, good golly. And he said, regardless, because a lot of people say, here come Little Richard with his sisters. And Richard said, don't worry about that, because this big, we were like before the civil rights bill passed. This back then, 53, 54. And the thing about that was, we used to act like that, but introduce rock and roll, you know, to the white club. And then we wanted the kids to get together. We wanted to be equal with everybody. I don't care if you're gay, straight, backward, or forward, and stuff like black or white, because we know music was a great communication. Anybody can feel music, young or old, you know. And so they enjoyed coming out there to see Little Richard play and stuff like that. And
Greetings and salutations, viewers. Welcome to BookExpo America, where I am here with author Charles Connor, who has written Keep a Knockin'. Thank you for joining us for this quick little interview.
It's my pleasure, yeah.
I was hoping you could tell us a little bit about your book.
My book is about, history, about the history of rock and roll. I'm Little Richard, the original drummer, and we created rock and roll. And we wanted to be different, so those days, like I said, for the play in the white honky-tonk club down south, we have to act like a bunch of gay guys. Pancake makeups, little rouge and all that jazz, eyebrow pencil and all that darkening your mustache, because they wouldn't let us play if we was to look like a bunch of macho guys. So we couldn't look like a bunch of gay guys. So that's where we introduced rock and roll down south into to the white honky-tonk club. So we used to wear tight pants. They wanted our penis to show through the tight pants and stuff like that, and smile and be over back there in 1953. And I'm talking about all the experience we had on the road, the Jim Crow, and us dressing like a bunch of gay guys to introduce rock and roll into the white clubs. And we also wanted to, I wanted to mention that Little Richard is the one that brought the gays out of the closet, because Richard, a lot of those a lot of people didn't come to Richard dance and things like that because they didn't feel comfortable. But when Richard was out there, Richard said, "I'm the king and queen of rock and roll," and he made the guys come out and they felt comfortable and things like that. You know, and the